There's two things that I really want to get into, and I think first and foremost is the Trent Richardson deal. We don't see this kind of stuff happening in the NFL often. I'm curious of two things. Firstly, I'm curious why the Browns would think that they had to get rid of him now, and secondly, why didn't they get more for him? This is a guy who a year ago was a third pick overall and is a bruising runner, a guy who I think has a world of potential. Why did that happen? What's going on in Cleveland that they would move a guy like Trent Richardson?
I think what happened is the fact that now you have a new regime coming in, and when you look at North Turner's offense, and the crazy part is I was doing the Cleveland Browns Minnesota Vikings preview yesterday morning, and I drew up a play where they can get Trent Richardson going because he struggles with vision. He doesn't have the lateral ability to make one miss in the open field, and he always runs in the back of his offensive lineman. So, and that was after the Ravens game. I rewatched that game. I'm like, this is concerning, and this is why he's not gaining yards. He doesn't really have the running back quote unquote skill to be successful. And when you think back to Alabama, that's why he was backing up Mark Ingram. That's also why he split carries with Eddie Lacy, because he's one-dimensional as a runner. And if you're going to play North Turner's offense, you have to be multifaceted. You have to be able to make one miss. You have to be able to catch the football. You have to be able to, quote-unquote, create your own shot as a running back when the hole isn't there. And those are things that Trent Richardson can't do. Now, on the flip side, going to Indianapolis, playing that offense is going to suit him better because they run a lot of sprint draws. They run a lot of counters and powers and ISOs, which is simplistic running where if there's a 34 dive, it's going in the 4 hole. That's how you get the most out of Trent Richardson, and he's going to have those gaping holes to run through because of the play action pass. And it's a win-win for both organizations. And plus, they get a first-round pick through the Browns, which is awesome because you just turned around and drafted this guy in the first round. So you're really not losing anything in the sense of you got equal value for this guy that you just drafted a year ago.
Well, except that you don't know where Indianapolis is going to end up. Because I agree with you. This is a win-win for them. They get a guy who I think makes Andrew Luck better. You know, you haven't had to worry too much about play action if you're scheming against Indianapolis the first 2 weeks of this year. You know, you can just pin your ears back and go after them. And now you got a running option that's a viable one. It makes the Indy offense better, and I think it'll make Andrew Luck better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That play action pass, no one was respected because of who they had in the backfield. Now you have to respect Trent Richardson.
Right.
And Trent Richardson is Earl Campbell, but he's a lot better than Vic Ballard and also Ahmad Bradshaw and Donald Brown. So it does improve them. And for the Browns, they do get better. It's addition by subtraction. They'll be able to open up the offense a little bit more and won't be so committed to trying to make this guy work when it's curtailing the rest of their offense.
I'll buy that. I do. The other thing about it, though, is that's a third pick overall. That they're going to end up with a pick that could be well into the 20s, and that doesn't. It's not equal value. I just kind of thought they could have gotten more assets for him than that. But be that as it may, it'll be really interesting to see how this works out. Lord knows that for the short term, anyways, Cleveland's offense is going to be woeful with or without Trent Richardson. So, I think we can safely say that.